on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great week so far. Been a little bit boring towards the end of the week for Bitcoin. Not gonna lie, you can see we're still kind of just hanging around, down 0.43%. The altcoins are coming out to play. Bitcoin dominance falling. Ethereum up 3%. XRP 1.5%. You can see Link sort of in the dark green above over there. So I do want to talk about a few things today. Number one being, is this the calm before the storm for Bitcoin? And are we looking for another really big move maybe by the end of this weekend leading into Monday? So literally as I go to upload the video, this is not the first time that this has happened to me. Bitcoin decides to have this crazy move. Now the whole idea of this video was, is this the calm before the storm? Not too sure if this is the move we were looking for. We actually fell below the $9,854 level. We do talk about that in today's video, but definitely stick around to the end because we go into a lot of fundamentals as well as technicals, but I do still want to talk about that one bullish indicator potentially happening at the end of this week, early Monday. So is this a fake out? Well, we do have another day until the end of this weekend, so we're going to talk about that, but definitely stick around. But you seriously can't make this stuff up, guys. Welcome to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Well, there is something on the CME futures chart. It's an indicator. I want to show you guys that come Monday, it does look like it's going to switch into bullish territory. We're going to get into that. Also want to talk about Ethereum. Lots of people been asking me about Ethereum lately. Obviously, it's been doing quite well. We did go into Ethereum a few months back, but we will revisit it today. Why not? Everyone's asking. So we'll do a little bit of Ethereum analysis. I do want to go into the fact that there are a lot of indicators today in the market that are telling me that this is the real deal, okay? This isn't some fake pump. I'm going to go into those fundamentals as well. And finally, we also have CNBC Fast Money having Bitcoin as their chart of the week. And if that sounds good to you, well, you know what to do. Also, if you guys haven't turned on the bell notification yet, you can see it's right up here. Or if you're watching on mobile, I think it's just below me. If you're new, definitely put that bell on because, yeah, you don't want to miss out on these updates. And definitely get subscribed. And also every Monday we do give away the Ledger Nano S. Drop a comment below and you are eligible. Now, giving it a quick refresh live, Bitcoin dominance, 61%. We got some top gainers today. Wax, wow, up 58%. Golem, 32. Siacoin, 14. Elf, Komodo, BitTorrent, PundiX. Okay, lots of gains in the altcoins today. Also, big question, is this officially altcoin season? We're going to talk about that, okay? But having a look at Bitcoin, we're still going up in this channel, sort of just bouncing around. You know, we hit the top, we pull back, we hit the top, we pull back, but we are putting in higher highs and higher lows every single time, currently putting in a little bit of consolidation. So if we were to take a fall right now, you're looking at about the sort of $10,150 level, with the next level of support being at around $9,854. So if Bitcoin was to fall below 10,000, don't freak out. 10,000 is just the psychological number. We're doing very, very well on the charts over here. You can see this is the key indicator that I wanted to point out. This is the CME Bitcoin futures chart. And as you guys can see right here, it looks like we are basically about to put in a golden cross with the 50 over the 100. Now I know what you're saying. Didn't we already put in a futures, a golden cross? Yes, we did on the spot markets, but keep in mind that the CME futures don't trade on weekends. So you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt, but we need to look at both of these charts. Which one's more important? I'm not really sure, but you have to look at both of them, okay? Because both of them really have some kind of weight. You're going to have these traders over here on CME using this chart, and you're going to have a lot of retail traders using this chart. So you got to look at them both, but it does look like we're going to have that golden cross. And the other thing that's pretty damn bullish is we actually closed out at $10,495 on CME, and currently Bitcoin is sitting lower than that. So basically that means, well, we now have a gap that's above us, which means we're probably going to pump up to that gap Sunday night into Monday morning. Doesn't necessarily have to happen, but chances are that's probably what is going to happen. We are still in the blue zone, as you can see right over here. However, I want to point out one thing that Plan B mentioned. He said few people realize we are currently in the third best Bitcoin month ever. Only December 2017, when we had the all-time high, and June 2019, okay? He's not talking about gains, he's talking about Bitcoin price. That's pretty incredible. This is the third best month for Bitcoin ever in the history of Bitcoin. Let that sink in. Also, the fact that you're here watching this video, my friends, you are definitely setting yourself up for the massive, massive explosion. You can see right here, like I said, getting above 11,355 at the end of this month would basically be the ultimate send it. Like, just send it to the moon, okay? Will we break that by the end of the month? Not too sure, guys. It's been a pretty incredible year. We could have a pullback, but like I said, as long as we stay above the $9,600 level, we're doing just fine. But check this out. The chart of the week on CNBC, guys, you cannot make this up. It was Bitcoin. And now the world is seeing, they're seeing this. This is what people are turning on, and they're seeing this on their TVs. So yeah, I mean, should you counter trade it? Well, we can have our arguments on that, but I want to play this clip super quick, and then I want to get back to the charts.
All right, welcome back, and happy Friday, and happy Valentine's Day, all you fast money friends. It's time for your chart of the week. Ooh. Check out that rally. Just chugging along.
What is that?
Well, it's not a stock. You know what it is, BK?
I got a hunch.
What is that?
I think that's the Bitcoins.
Oh,
yeah, the big yellow coin.
Wow, up what, 44% this year?
Up 44% this year, up over 70% last year, best performing asset out there. So here's what's going on with it. Talked a lot about last year that we're getting what's called the halvening. So the daily supply is going to be cut in half in May from $18 million to $9 million per day. So miners have stopped selling some of their inventory because they want higher prices. They're expecting higher prices. You're also seeing with this momentum, a lot of institutional investors have increased their activity here. It's still a trickle. It's not a flow in, but you're starting to see a lot of people come in and say, hey, you know what? As an asset class, as digital gold, this is the place we want to be. And then finally, if you look at the underlying fundamentals where I look at address growth, that address growth is running at about 9-10% over the last 30 days. You can kind of think of that like with Twitter as daily active users or with Facebook daily active users. So when you see those daily active users or addresses growing, that means the fundamentals are improving. So those three things are really driving.
You buy any others? Because Litecoin and XRP, they've also done well this year.
They are all, it's what they call kind of an altcoin rally. So you look at Ethereum has done well. Other smart contract platforms like Cosmos and EOS have all done well. And I think they continue to do well this year.
All right, good stuff there. A big round. A lot of people made a lot of money in crypto if you timed it right.
I forget that guy's name at the end, but you could kind of tell that he probably doesn't invest in crypto. He's been a little bit skeptical about it. But that being said, there's two things I wanted to take away from that video. Number one being the fact that BK actually mentioned that it has been a little bit of a trickle. You know, you guys think that this is the full-on parabolic run. You haven't even seen it yet. You have not. You will know when the parabolic run comes. When you're getting 20%, 30% gains in a day, then you'll know. And the second thing I liked is how he mentioned the addresses, right? We were kind of seeing addresses sort of stagnate for a little bit, and now you're actually seeing it increase by like 9%, right? Which means that new people are actually opening Bitcoin wallets or getting Bitcoin wallets, putting Bitcoin in it. And yeah, that definitely is a good sign moving forward. Obviously, you can own more than one wallet, but still it's growing. So that is something worth noting. And also Mike Novogratz, just on a side note, he had an interview yesterday, and he was calling Bitcoin the best brand of the past 11 years. He said 2020 will be the year it challenges 20,000 once more. Totally agree. In fact, I'm pretty sure, this is my opinion, but I'm like 99% sure that we're going to break 20K this year. He says right now Bitcoin feels a little frenzied and we could see it surge up, but I think that by the end of the year, we would certainly take out the old highs or at least get to the old highs. He said we might be there literally by the halving. So he's saying we could see $20,000 by the halving. Now, historically, we've never broken an all-time high before the halving. So don't get your hopes up too much. There's a chance we might not hit $20,000 by the halving, but he did say that Bitcoin has found its own lane as a unique store of value because people believe that Bitcoin is a store of value similar to gold, just as gold got 3,000 years and 10 trillion under it. Well, Bitcoin only has 11 years and 200 billion. So just think about the potential for that growth. But what's going on with Bitcoin dominance, right? Clearly the altcoins have come out to play. Well, if we have a look over here at blockchaincenter.net, is it alt season? They say yes. The altcoin season index is 81 out of 100. How do they base this? Well, if you come down here, it says that essentially they look at a season as 3 months. They look at the performance of the top 50 coins over the last 90 days, and they have outperformed Bitcoin in the last 90 days. So yes, it is currently alt season, according to this website, to answer everybody. Now, a lot of people asking about Ethereum. Well, number one thing that pops right out is we are above the 21 exponential on the weekly. Now, I was talking about this back in October. I know I kind of haven't really really spoken a lot about Ethereum, but I really didn't have much to say outside of the fact that essentially back here, when we were talking about it, I said really anything under, sort of like $180, $200 was an amazing opportunity to buy into Ethereum. And you could see how we were held down by this 21 exponential. I mean, look at it. We popped up, back here in April of 2018. But essentially since then, we tried to peak out here once in December, we tried to peak out once in February, but for the most part, it held us down. And as soon as we were able to break above it, I mean, it was literally just blue skies for Ethereum. Now, switching over and having a look at the US dollar chart, keep in mind this was the Bitcoin comparative, this is the dollar chart, you will notice that we are well above the 200 daily, but the thing is we are reaching the sort of resistance that we had starting back here in June of 2017. Here we breached it again, here again, and currently we are having difficulty. It's like a crossroads, right, of the resistance of that and also the uptrend that we had back here. So if Ethereum was to have a pullback, do I think we're going to go all the way back down to like $140? Probably not, unless Bitcoin takes a massive dump. But if you are looking to scoop up some Ethereum a little bit cheaper, the next level of support would sort of be around the 270, and the other level would be around the 245. I don't think Ethereum's gonna fall below $240 as long as Bitcoin continues to move up. If Bitcoin takes a massive hit, then yes, it's possible. But if Bitcoin does continue its sideways or upwards rally, then I don't think Ethereum's gonna go any lower than like $245. Just my opinion, but people were asking about my thoughts on Ethereum. But speaking of just Ethereum in general, you can see right here that not only has Ethereum's price rally been obviously pretty great this year, but their network usage is also on the rise as well. In the last 7 days, active addresses are up 26%, transaction up 20%. So having a look right now, Ethereum looks like it could be having the calm before the storm as well. That's because everybody was asking me about it. So if you guys want me to start covering like more altcoins on the channel, I will, but I'm not going to start covering like altcoins on like page like 3, 4, 5, okay? Because there's just way too risky for, people just getting into the crypto space. Also, Ethereum browser wallet MetaMask has a 1 million user milestone. So there you go. I mean, that just goes to show you that people are getting involved with Ethereum. But you know what else is also telling me that there's a lot of new people in the space? If you've bought a Ledger from Ledger or whatever, you would get this from Ledger support. And they're basically saying that we're currently facing a strong increase of requests at the Ledger support team. You might then experience some extra delay in our response time. We apologize for the inconvenience caused. So you might be like, oh, well, Ledger's getting a lot of support tickets. That's not a bad thing, guys. That's a good thing. That means there's a lot of new people in the space that like just don't know how to use a ledger, right? So that's good. That means there's new people in the space. It's not just the same people that have been in crypto for the past year and a half, right? And I could tell you that too, because obviously my channel has been growing a lot faster. I've been getting a lot more subscribers. We were, you can even go check on Social Blade. It was kind of falling for a while. And now you're seeing a lot of new people come into the space. The Telegram group has been growing. So this is really good for the growth of Bitcoin moving forward. Also, got to talk about this because we mentioned it yesterday. So speaking of altcoins, the rumor turned out to be true about Tron. It says that they announced that essentially Steam developers will be jointly looking into migrating Steam products and users to the Tron network and ultimately swapping the Steam token for a new Tron-based version. They say no timeline for this migration was presented, but there you go. There you go. A rumor actually turns out to be true in crypto. That not very common. Usually the rumors are just rumors. But if you guys are interested, if you haven't checked out Elio Trade over at FUD TV, we've had him on the channel a few times. He's a buddy of mine. He actually did a 1-hour interview with Justin Sun. You guys know I don't really do too many interviews with projects on the channel. If you're interested, you want to know more about it, check that out over there. I will drop the link to FUD TV's channel below. But I just want to end on this note. One more thing I want to talk about. Again, we have money being seized from an individual at an airport. Now, we spoke about the lady whose father had his, I think it was like $80,000 he saved up, his entire life savings got confiscated, not returned. We had the other couple from Las Vegas that got their money that they won at the casino confiscated. And now it says the Fed seized $181,000 from a trucker at a Tampa airport. His company says something is fishy. The lawsuit says it's common to pay cash for big rigs and the money that the employee was carrying was legitimate. Okay? But once again, guys, this is what happens. That's the beauty of Bitcoin. When you have your private key, it's censorship resistant. It's non-confiscatable. You can send it across any border in the world. It is actually your money as long as you don't give anyone your private keys. Whereas, you see people just essentially having their life savings taken from them because it was a suspicious amount of money. You know, I mean, we're probably going to see more of these happening, but every time I see a story like this, it just really reminds me why I believe in Bitcoin and why I mean, from a fundamental, from a libertarian almost perspective, not that I am a libertarian, but I do believe in Bitcoin. Now, I know some people are scared about, you know, using something like a hardware wallet, like a ledger to put your stuff on, but I actually came across this really awesome comment by user Jebusura over on Reddit, and, you know, people were talking about, oh, well, we saw Trezor potentially got hacked, you know, could Ledger get hacked as well? Well, he said, I don't know what encryption and security is used on Ledger, but I'm going to guess it's the same encryption standards that are employed by the likes of all the big companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google, etc., in which case the encryption has never been broken, and likely, and by likely, I mean almost certainly, won't be broken at any time. So unless there's a backdoor that can be exploited, no one is getting into a properly encrypted device. And from what I'm aware of, no one's been able to hack a ledger you know, without actually physically having it in their hands and having an extreme knowledge of, you know, crypto stuff. Like, I mean, an average everyday person is not going to be able to do it, right? But anyway, point being, he says, it's not 100% because theoretically the encryption could be broken, but I'm a gambling man, so I'd say the odds of 99.99% chance of security until something better comes along, it's probably your best bet, right? Also, guys, if you haven't bought a ledger, I know I do give ledgers away on the channel, but, you know, seriously, you shouldn't be waiting for that. You should definitely already own a ledger. You should get this. You need to keep your crypto off these exchanges. They get hacked. Yeah, just keep your crypto safe, guys. If you don't know how to use a ledger, I do have a tutorial. I'll drop it above. But yeah, that being said, I do want to end on one positive note. And the other day I was talking about the Bitcoin network, and I was actually off. The Bitcoin network has been functional for 99.98% of its time. Meanwhile, IOTA is currently shut down right now because of a hack on the Trinity wallet. You don't see that happen with Bitcoin. So I understand, and okay, 10 minutes might be a little bit long to wait for your money, but if you have IOTA right now, is it really your money? Just saying, not picking on IOTA, but I'm just saying, right? The Bitcoin network has been up 99.98% of the time. And on that note, guys, I think we are going to end today's video. Thank you so much once again for coming back to the channel. Be sure to turn on the bell notification. I can't stress that enough. In fact, I've had people say that YouTube turned off the bell notification, which is kind of shady. YouTube, what's going on with that? If you want to join the Telegram, check it out. And if this is your first time, get subscribed. We do this every single day, almost every single day. That being said, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. I freaking love you. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.